Some more news just came out about some more pitch plans for John Cena, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's happening with Iyo Sky, Liv Morgan, and more. Starting things off with some new pitches that are being reported for John Cena. A new report recently came out mentioning how it was legitimately pitched for John Cena to win his 18th WWE World title in the closing months of his retirement tour. According to these new reports, this was not just a fan theory going around, it was allegedly a real pitch that was made amongst the officials. But the plan for John Cena's 18th world title didn't last long, before it was ultimately scrapped and taken in another direction. But this is something that fans were actually discussing themselves in recent weeks as well. There's been a lot of talks regarding John Cena winning the Intercontinental title during the final matches of his career and defending it in his final match. And everyone gets that. They understand why there's so much obsession with John Cena winning the Intercontinental title. It's because it's the one title he's never held, and he needs it in order to become a WWE Grand Slam champion. But you have some fans out there that feel like a world title should be on the line for John Cena's final match, not the Intercontinental Championship. There's some fans that really believe the Intercontinental title doesn't really belong in the final match for John Cena's legendary career. They think that the highest prize in the company should be on the line during this historic final matchup. So that's been the big debate right now amongst the fans. You have your group of fans that support the idea of the Intercontinental title being involved in John Cena's final match. Then you have your group of fans that feel like the 18th world title should have been in play for John Cena's final match. And according to these reports, there were some higher-ups that felt like the world title should have been involved in the final match as well. When John Cena won the WWE title at WrestleMania 41, that's what a lot of fans thought we'll see. This idea of John Cena going on one last historic reign with the title, and in December, he'll have one last title defense. And if that person doesn't beat him for the title, he'll be taking it home, and it was never going to be seen again. That's literally the narrative that John Cena set up himself the day after WrestleMania 41. He said he was going to ruin wrestling and take the title home with him after December. It set up this big potential narrative for John Cena's final match, for it to include massively high stakes for John Cena's final opponent to save the WWE title from literally being abducted and taken away. But after John Cena lost the title to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, that potential narrative for a final match was obviously ripped away. Some fans even look at the current title reign for Cody Rhodes, and they're wondering what it would have looked like if they just kept the WWE title on John Cena for a few more months. So definitely a lot of conversation going on there. It was also a big headline when Bayley responded to the news of John Cena's Last Time Is Now tournament and asked if women could be involved in the tournament. Chelsea Green even agreed with the idea from Bayley as well. It's definitely a unique idea to hear an intergender match for John Cena, but it does look like the tournament is moving forward with just male competitors. The next few weeks should include a lot of tournament action for the Last Time Is Now tournament. Confirmed matches so far include Damian Priest versus Rusev and Sheamus versus Nakamura. There's one young WWE superstar that's currently taking NXT by storm and gaining insane amounts of popularity and momentum, and that's Blake Monroe. The signing of Blake was massive and contained a lot of hype coming off her fantastic run with AEW. So far, Blake Monroe has lived up to the hype and even exceeded expectations. She already won the Women's North American title, and her character is just flowing with lots of charisma and personality. And at just 27 years old, everyone's looking at Blake Monroe as the future of the WWE Women's Division. Blake recently spoke with Busted Open Radio, and she opened up about another WWE superstar that sees a lot of herself in, and that's Liv Morgan. Blake Monroe had this to say about that comparison with Liv. Quote, "I see a lot of myself in Liv. I feel like she was very underrated for her in-ring, and she's good. But when she found her character and she found her feet, I mean, she was having the run of a lifetime before she got hurt. And I'm sure she's going to pick back up where she left off. But I don't know. I feel like I see similarities there, and I feel like there could be a really good story." End quote. And this is all very true statements. Liv was always a hard worker, and the work ethic was there from the start. But it wasn't really until mid-2024 where Liv truly found herself as a character on WWE television. Before that heel turn and that entire story with Dominic and Rhea, Liv's character didn't really have much going on. But throughout that storyline and all the way until her most recent injury, Liv's character was outstanding. So much depth to it, so much stories revolving around her, and she has skyrocketed to being a true main event superstar because all the gears were turning and working. From her character work to her in-ring work, everything was there that caused all that momentum for her to rise to the top. So Blake Monroe is observing that and feels like she sees herself in Liv and wants to follow in those same footsteps of climbing to the top. Not only follow the footsteps, but Blake Monroe even put it out there that she feels like there's a good story there for her to feud with Liv Morgan one day down the line. And given where both these characters are at right now, Blake is definitely right that it would be quite the interesting matchup right there. But until then, Blake Monroe is doing her thing in NXT, and fans can't wait to see how that acting character will translate on the main roster whenever she is eventually called up. Fans have noticed that a WWE superstar has quietly vanished from television in recent weeks, and that individual is Iyo Sky. Iyo Sky's run in WWE ever since returning with Damage Control in 2022 has been absolutely amazing. She won the tag team titles as a part of Damage Control. Then in 2023, she won the Money in the Bank contract and followed that up with a successful cash-in to become the new WWE Women's Champion. She held that title all the way till WrestleMania 40 when she defended it against Bayley. Then in 2025, you can argue that Iyo Sky had another career-defining year. She shockingly won the Women's World title on the road to WrestleMania, successfully defended the title at WrestleMania by pinning Bianca and ending Bianca's undefeated WrestleMania streak. And it feels like after that world title reign in 2025, Iyo Sky really elevated herself to being a true main event talent on the roster. Michael Cole even repeatedly calls Iyo Sky the greatest wrestler in the world, including both male and female competitors. So definitely so much hype there for Iyo Sky, but she hasn't been seen since the tag team match at Crown Jewel. And fans found this long absence to be mysterious and strange, because she was not properly written off of television. She just kind of vanished. There's no official word on what's happening with Iyo Sky. The only clue came from her social media herself, where she revealed that she was in Tokyo for a brief visit. There's also no word on any timetable for her return, but given the fact that her most recent storyline had a lot to do with Asuka and Kairi Sane, maybe it's possible to assume that Iyo Sky will make her big return to television by confronting and coming after Asuka and Kairi Sane again real soon. And we'll see what else Iyo Sky can get into after that. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.